Hi, thanks for joining me. Today I am looking at some Italian stilettos thought to be made by the Beltrame family out of Italy. The Beltrames have been making knives for generations since the early 1900s, and they're out of Maniago, Italy, where they've been handcrafting stilettos since 1958. The first blade we're looking at is a bit of a unicorn. This knife was purchased from my dad's friend. He bought it from a friend at work in the mid 80s. It was actually the first knife he ever bought and the one that got him into collecting in the first place. Nothing more is really known about its source or the knife itself, it seems. In my opinion, it would have been made sometime in the 70s, possibly early 80s. And this is a 9-inch Italian stiletto, also known as a switchblade, with a really clean stag handle. Each side has a unique appearance. It's in perfect mint condition, and when you fire it, it wants to jump out of your hand. Springs really tight, feels heavy, it's solid, and we can see here a strange Henckels stamp, which doesn't make a lot of immediate sense. The stamp is the twins, but it's not possible to date it that way because Henckels used that stamp from 69 to modern day. And then it's got the standard swivel bolster release. And then the only thing I can find on the internet about this knife are threads that me and my dad have made about this specific blade. I made a post on the R Switchblade subreddit about it not long ago, and I'll link that in the description. That some people there helped identify it, or at least give some info on what they thought it was. And what they shared was that this is very likely manufactured by the Beltrames, and Henckels, who's actually a German manufacturer, would have been the importer on this instead, because these stilettos are only made in Italy. However, German regulations at the time wouldn't have allowed a 9-inch automatic knife to be imported. You couldn't have an automatic blade longer than 8.5 centimeters. So either this knife skirted the law, or it was a permitted custom piece or prototype, or even more likely it predates the 1972 Act. So it may be an Armando or an early Renzo. I'm sure some people have some strong opinions on that. If you do know anything, let us know below. And next is this baby mini Stag stiletto picklock. I don't have any reason to think this is a Beltrame, but I'm putting it here because I don't know a maker and it seems to fit right in. Could be, I don't know. It's a 4-pin Italian from the 80s, maybe 90s is all I know about it. Any modern cheaper knives can get away with only using 3 pins. This one's a real Stag, high quality. It's been sitting in a case getting annual cleanings like the rest for 40 years. And it fires up just like its daddy. It just says Inox, which isn't a brand, but means not oxidizable or stainless steel in Italian and French. The locking mechanism is just a picklock style on the lock plate. Pretty cool little guy, but without a slide lock, I wouldn't want to put it on my keychain. Then we have this beautiful pearl Italian, which has no real markings on the blade besides stiletto, Italy, and stainless. I was advised it's a Beltrame, but I don't know about such things myself. This one's also in top condition. The handle's beautiful, mother of pearl. Pretty cool. You can see the pins through to the liner. That's kind of unusual. I keep thinking this is some sort of sticker goo, but it's some imperfection inside the scale. And it seems to be in the same condition as when it left the workbench. And it fires as you'd expect. And this one's also a swivel bolster. And we'll keep it locked. And last and least, this guy is not as perfect as the rest in comparison. You'll see in a moment. But it's a good looking knife. I'm not entirely certain what the handle material is. It's too modern to use celluloid. Some sort of plastic, I guess. Don't know. This guy needs some love. It can probably be repaired, but that's a bit out of my scope. Probably just needs a spring or something. Aside from the spring, it appears to be in decent shape, but this one was played around with a little by the original owners, and it seems there's some nicks and scratches on the handle and bolsters and the blade, um, unlike the first three. And it's got a B here, I guess Beltrame, which is likely a 90s or 2000s Frank Beltrame. I have no idea where this came from. And then the Rostfrey is also meaning stainless steel, and a standard swivel bolster release. Then in the end, all these knives are a bit of a mystery to me. They didn't really shed a lot of light on themselves. Did have some help from people who do know what they're talking about, so that's kind of what I'm basing things on. But if you know any differently or anything better, please let us know below. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to see more of my dad's knife collection, please like and subscribe.